How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. Thanks for dropping in. I'm glad you're here today. Over the winter I do a lot of plowing in the landing, of course. Like probably everybody has to clear out their lane and landing, so on. But I tend to be a little bit maybe not as cautious as I once was when I was plowing, and I damage some stuff. Yes, it's true. Anyway, one of the things that I kind of got tangled up in there last year plowing was my trailer. My trailer's parked over on the side landing there, and I was trying to get right close to it in case I need to get the trailer out. Wouldn't want to have to shovel a bunch of snow away. But when I was trying to get right close to it, I got the snowblower hooked up in the tongue of the trailer, and I didn't damage the tongue, but I made the tongue support, the little trailer stand, jack stand. I kind of bent that up a little bit. So we're going to have a look at that today, see if we can straighten it out, get her back in working order. So here's the trailer stand. It's just a one-wheel dolly. This is a great unit, if you ever have a trailer. It'd be good to get one of these because it sure comes in handy. I got this at Princess Auto quite a long time ago, and it was on sale when I got it, so I had a really good deal on it. But anyway, when I was plowing last year, I bumped into the tongue on the trailer, and of course the dolly wheel here was froze to the ground. When it bumped the trailer, it kind of pushed the trailer off to the side, and when it did that, it bent these brackets here. You see that one? I don't know how well you can make those out. They're supposed to be straight. So anyways, I removed the dolly from the trailer yesterday. And I brought it in here because I want to straighten these out and clean up the nuts and bolts that hold them all together, and see if we can make this as good as new again. These bolts are kind of rusted up pretty good here, so we'll put a little WD-40 is what all I have. These are spring lock washers on them. Now, just a little word about spring lock washers. They're great, They really do hold the nut from spinning off. But you see, when they get a gap in them like that, that means they're no good anymore. So I'm going to throw this one out. And if you look at this guy, it has no gap, and there's still a good offset in the spring. So you can reuse this guy. But when they're separated like that, no good. So that's that one off. Now I need to take that one off. Yeah, I need to take this one off now, so a little bit more WD-40. That seemed to work good. This wire here was a grounding wire I had. Things don't last too long, boys, when they get in the elements. All right. So that's that. Now we're going to try and straighten these brackets out. I'm not sure the best way to do that, but because these brackets fit around the jaws on the vise, I'm just going to put them in the vise, clamp them up this way, see if I can straighten them out. A little straighter, but not straight. That looks a little better. Still not dead straight. But not bad all the same. got to go in a little bit, doesn't it? Let's see what we can do with this. Hold on now. That looks pretty good. See if I can squeeze the sides in a little bit again. Well, if I went to the store to buy a new one, I wouldn't get this one, that's for sure, but I think it's going to work. My only concern now is the strength of this bracket compromised because it was bent once already? Not sure about that. Anyway, it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to do the same with the other one, and then we're going to check the actual jack itself, do a little service on it as well. So the way this jack works, you can fold it up out of the way. Now, just imagine the trailer hitch, the trailer tongue comes out this way, right? Vertical, up and down. So when it comes time to transport the jack, you just pull out on this, and this will fold up or fold down. Well, it won't now because the vise is in the way, but yeah. So it works good that way. However, needs a little bit of lube in here so it'll run a little bit better, slide a little bit better. Plus these springs are getting pretty rusty. So I'm going to lube those up. Also, this jack's up and down. Right? So what I want to do is I'm going to take the top off here and make sure that that screw is well greased. You know, service it up that way. Maybe put some emery cloth on this. So I've got a little bit of fluid film left. I'm going to put that on here. And down in here too. Now, let me just see if I can reposition this a little bit. So now I've got it supported in the vise this way, so a little bit more lube on here. Certainly wouldn't hurt. I think I'm out of fluid film. Alright, that seems a little bit better. I put food film on that, but maybe that's not the best thing for it. Maybe I'll put a little bit of grease on that, I don't know. We'll see. Now I'm going to pop this top off and see what's inside there. Now it should pop off. There it is. So you should be able to see in there pretty good. This turns a pinion gear, which turns the other pinion gear, which turns the crank, the screw. Yeah, it won't unscrew all the way. So it won't unscrew all the way, but I'm going to put some emery cloth on this just to clean that up. I don't think I'll paint it because the paint will only scratch off, right? So yeah, I'm going to put some emery cloth on that. So it's just some plumber's emery cloth. So I don't think I'll paint it. I'm just going to make sure it's well lubed. I think that's about all I can do. I am going to put some grease though on that pinion gear up to the top here, just to help it crank a little bit better. So here's some PB Blaster PB50 lubricant, universal lubricant, and it's got Teflon in it, it seems to me. Yes, Teflon. So this is just wheel bearing grease. It's certainly not high grade, that's for sure. But it is just a jack after all, for the trailer. And isn't that a cute little brush? But if you want to grease something, get your fingers in there. I'd like to be able to get some grease on the screw here, but I don't know how to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand this vertical and just spray some oil in there, see if that helps. Put the nozzle on the PB Blaster. Well, the oil went right through. Look, it's leaking out the bottom. Boy, that runs a lot smoother. Whoa, baby. I'd like to get some grease in there now. Wonder if I can do that. Use this old grease here. I don't want to put too much on because this is going to be like exposed. You get this all over your pants and stuff, right? If you're ever out at the trailer. I don't want to get it on my pants because sometimes I wear good pants. So there's my trailer jack support, tongue support. It's all rebuilt. I lubed up the wheel, lubed up the screw, lubed up these springs on the latch so that this will turn a lot easier. I lubed the pivot point on the latch, and I lubed the pinion gear inside here that raises and lowers the jack. I straightened out these arms that were bent pretty bad from where I hooked onto it with the snowblower last winter. Got those all straightened up, cleaned up the nuts and bolts. We're ready to put it back on the trailer. And I do that today, except it's pouring down rain out here today. So I'll wait. Hopefully I'll get a picture of it on the trailer before I post the video. But if not, you can just sort of imagine what this will look like when it's installed on the trailer. But I think this was a good project for a rainy afternoon in the shop. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you get a chance, thumbs up me. It only takes a sec. Click on that thumbs up sign, and that really helps out my channel. Appreciate it. Have a great week, folks, and we'll talk to you.